In the beginning, there were secrets, secrets older than the Horsemen, older than the angels or demons, older even than the balance itself. At the crossroads of fate and memory stand three figures whose shadows stretch across all creation. The elusive Crowfather, keeper of every whispered truth, the mysterious creator, whose vanished hands shaped worlds and destinies, and Wicked K, the trickster phantom whose presence mocks death's certainty and challenges even the bravest champions. These are not mere legends. They are the architects of mystery, the catalysts of chaos, and the voices that echo through the halls of eternity. I am Vigil, and this is Video Game Lore. Prepare to journey into the heart of the unknown, where riddles unravel, legends awaken, and the true power behind the apocalypse is finally revealed. Dark and mysterious as the namesake minions that wheel and flock around him, the Crowfather is the keeper of secrets, an enigma among enigmas, his race and origin lost to the ages. Some whisper that he is the eldest among the old ones, a primordial relic whose wisdom predates even the oldest stories. The Crowfather is sagely, his patience thin, and his humor nearly non-existent, but his mind is a vault of ancient knowledge, truths long forgotten, or perhaps best left buried. Though his form resembles that of a weathered crone, frail and stooped beneath a cloak of feathers, his mastery of the arcane makes him a force that few would dare oppose. His crows, fierce and loyal, will lay down their lives to fuel his magic or to eviscerate any who threaten their master. In the vast cosmos, only the demon lord Samael rivals the Crowfather's reach in gathering secrets. The Crowfather is a living legend. His black-feathered familiars flit through every realm, gathering whispers, lies, and forbidden truths, all of which he jealously guards. He lives reclusively on a frozen world known only as the Veil, its surface shrouded in perpetual ice and silence. When the Charred Council ordered Death to destroy the amulet that contained the souls of the Nephilim, the Horsemen instead entrusted it to the Crowfather for safekeeping. To bear its heavy curse, the Crowfather bound the Crow dust to death, forging a psychic link between them, a pact that would change the fate of worlds. In the hidden chronicles of the Abomination Vault Crisis, the Crowfather emerges not as a mastermind, but as a pivotal oracle, his knowledge so vast it draws doom to his icy stronghold. His story unfolds as the rogue angel Hadramon, thirsting for revenge and armed with the abomination Black Mercy, joins forces with the rogue maker Belisatra. Their construct armies, mindless and tireless, scour creation in search of the vault. Believing the Crowfather to possess the knowledge they seek, Belisatra first sends envoys, constructs bearing offers of trade. The Old One, with scornful words, rebuffs them. Enraged by this rejection, Hadramon and Belisatra let slip the full might of their armies upon the Veil. The Crowfather's realm is besieged, a world of glacial spires and endless blizzards, with his dark fortress at its heart. In this cataclysm, the Crowfather stands defiant, unleashing the wrath of his domain. Flocks of crows, blackening the sky, descend in shrieking waves, tearing through brass and stone with beaks and talons. At his command, storms erupt, blizzards freeze invaders into crystal tombs, lightning splits the sky and shatters foes, and gales hurl constructs into the abyss. Yet the constructs press on, their rakes unending, their siege engines battering at the fortress walls. The Crowfather, robed in feather and shadow, commands from afar, his mind animating the land's very fury. But even his ancient might is sorely tested. His avian guardians begin to fall, and the constructs breach the outer defenses, closing in on the heart of his sanctuary. Salvation comes through dust, the crow Death once took from the Crowfather, a theft the Old One still grumbles about. As the battle rages, dust convulses in Death's presence, transmitting a psychic vision of the siege. Death, sensing the peril, races to the Veil on despair. He cuts his way through the chaos, his sighs reaping constructs in silence, until he finds the Crowfather locked in battle. Reunited, the duo unleash devastation. Crowfather's crows and storms merge with Death's reaper form, spinning sighs and necromantic blasts. Together, they shatter the invaders, their enemies left as shattered metal and frozen remains littering the snow. After the siege, tension lingers. Death demands the secrets of the abominations. The Crowfather, as always, responds with dry sarcasm, but yields. They draw the truth from a dead construct, using the Crowfather's probing magic. The plot behind the vault is revealed, and later, the Crowfather channels dust to transmit Death's message to Azrael, a psychic ruse that draws Raziel's demon mercenaries to the vault, shifting the fate of the crisis. Thus, the Crowfather's arc is one of reluctant guardianship. His forbidden knowledge ignites the war, his realm becomes a battleground, and his alliance with death, sealed by crow, storm, and blood, proves indispensable to the balance. After the apocalypse, death comes again to the Crowfather, begging help to prove war's innocence. The Crowfather, bitter and wounded by the price of his last aid, curses the Horsemen for the pain it brought him. He asks why he should care for war's fate. Death pleads that the Crowfather's secrets could revive humanity. The Crowfather opens a portal to the Tree of Life, then slams it shut, demanding that Death destroy the Nephilim soul amulet in exchange for passage. The unceasing voices of the Nephilim have driven the Crowfather to the edge of madness. Death refuses, threatening the Old One, but the Crowfather stands his ground. Death will not leave while he yet lives. The Crowfather then transforms, taking on war's form and dueling Death in a battle of pride and pain. Death prevails, mortally wounding the Crowfather and forcing him back to his true shape. Death orders the Crowfather to open the portal. When the Crowfather refuses, the Horseman strikes him down, promising that the Crowfather's secrets will die with him. The Crowfather's last words are a curse and a prophecy. My secrets die, but not yours. He dissolves into a swirling mass of crows, the amulet around his neck shattering and embedding its fragments into Death's chest. The Horseman collapses, and the Crowfather's body is claimed by a vortex of darkness, casting Death into the Forge Lands and setting him upon his path. In Death, the Crowfather's soul is drawn to the city of the dead, where Death finds him again. Far from holding a grudge, the Crowfather, his sanity restored by the loss of the amulet, becomes a valuable ally. He guides Death to the Well of Souls, explaining that 2 keys, held by heaven and hell, will open its gates. He leads Death first to Lost Light, to confront the corrupted Archon for Heaven's Key, then to Shadow's Edge, where Samael holds the Demon Key. When Death acquires both, the Crowfather directs him to the well, warning that corruption has chosen a champion who awaits within. Death ventures inside, facing the avatar of corruption, Absalom himself. When Death prevails, the Crowfather appears and offers him a choice: resurrect the Nephilim or humanity, knowing one must be sacrificed over the other. Death, after a moment's reflection, chooses to save his brother War and humanity instead. The Crowfather explains that sacrifice is required. Death removes his mask, entrusting it to the Old One before leaping into the well. As billions of souls surge forth, the Crowfather's own spirit fades at last, finally moving on in peace. The Crowfather's legend is that of the ultimate keeper of secrets, a being of such ancient power and knowledge that even the Horsemen tread carefully in his presence. Rarely does he share what he knows, and his magic is both arcane and formidable, summoning storms, causing lightning, and hurling elemental powers from his fingertips. Death once mused that the Crowfather could have destroyed entire armies single-handedly, and his duel as War proved he could hold his own even against a Horseman. During his time as Death's guide, the Crowfather's humor was wry, his patience thin, and his counsel invaluable. The torment of Nephilim souls nearly broke him, but in the end, his wisdom, power, and sacrifice became a vital thread in the tapestry of the balance. He is the silent watcher, the ancient oracle, and the last line between knowledge and oblivion. The Creator stands as the unknowable architect of all existence, the primordial force who shaped both the vast expanses of creation and every power that dwells within it. For this reason, he is regarded as omnipotent and eternal, a being beyond mortal understanding. Nearly every soul in the cosmos recognizes the Creator. To the angels, he is revered as their father and the whispering of all wisdom. To demons, he is despised as an absentee tyrant. And the Charred Council proclaims that it was he who charged them with the sacred duty of maintaining the cosmic balance. It is said that long ago, the Creator walked among his works, speaking directly to his children, offering guidance in times of darkness and bestowing protection of the few deemed worthy of his favor. Yet, over the ages, his voice grew silent. Many now whisper that the Creator has turned his back on the universe, leaving his works to struggle alone. According to Jamira, the angels have long scoured the endless realms in search of the faintest trace of their father. With the help of a forgotten race of old ones, they managed to distill these echoes into undying shards, sacred fragments that Fury herself used to stave off death. At the dawn of all things, before the first angel soared or the first demon clawed its way from the abyss, the Creator stirred in the primordial void. With a will beyond comprehension, he spun the fabric of reality into existence, a dualistic tapestry of light and dark, order and chaos, life and death. Realms blossomed beneath his hand, heaven's shining spires, hell's sulphurous pits, the forged lands balanced precariously on the abyss's edge, and countless other worlds, all linked by the cosmic trees of life and death. From his grand design, the races of creation arose. The Ravelim were first, forging societies on shattered worlds. Next came the Makers, old ones who built the citadels of both heaven and hell, with hands guided by pure neutrality. Angels were born as vessels of wisdom and fury, demons as storms of malice and ambition, and then, as a wild card in the cosmic game, humanity emerged, not by decree, but by evolution, destined to tip the scales toward the equilibrium. Yet, many of the powers that ruled the cosmos dismissed mankind as little more than vermin. The Creator's touch left duality etched into every corner of the universe. Worlds leaned toward flourishing life or inevitable decay. Forces of preservation were set against the pull of entropy. In the earliest ages, he communed openly with his children, speaking, guiding, and laying down the laws that would bind all things to the balance. To the angels, he is father and architect of all that is divine. To the demons, he is a tyrant, lazy and impotent, who could not contain their chaos. The Charred Council, as his chosen mediators, claimed his mandate as their own, forging the truce of the Seven Seals to keep peace until humanity was ready for the end war. Yet, the order in which he populated the realms remains shrouded in mystery. Some believe he set into motion the creation of the Nephilim by Lilith, not merely as hybrids of angel and demon, but as his direct progeny or as sentinels to protect Eden, mankind's promised cradle. The Makers, too ancient even for the Well of Souls, bond their essences into heartstones, animating constructs and anchoring the forged lands at the edge of oblivion. Eons ago, the Creator's voice vanished. He no longer intervened in the endless war of heaven and hell, nor in the Nephilim's rampages that burned worlds to ash. The angels, desperate, sent seekers like Jeremiah through countless realms, aided by ancient old ones, to distill his remaining presence into undying shards, sacred fragments that would one day save Fury herself from death's grasp. Demons, meanwhile, mocked his absence, the Charred Council twisting his laws for their own ends, grew obsessed with policing their eternal forces, blind to humanity's rise. Samael built his black stone fortress in a realm that would become Lilith's. The Crowfather hoarded the secrets once shared by the Creator. Some believe the Creator abandoned his children, in disgust at their failings. Worlds consumed by the abyss, balanced forever threatened. Others whisper that he withdrew to watch from afar, his silence itself a final test. Some theorize he retreated to an uncharted dimension beyond the universe itself, observing the unraveling balance in the wake of the Council's corruption, or that he is testing his children by letting corruption spread, a cosmic cancer mirroring his own withdrawal. Since his silence, no direct miracles have marked the Creator's hand, but his echoes persist. The Charred Council's origins as his enforcers, the reference of angels wielding divine shards, the possibility that Nephilim were crafted as Eden's wardens, are all lingering fingerprints of his grand design. He instilled the universe with balance as law, enforced by horsemen born from the genocide of their kin at Eden, where outcast hybrids waged war against archangels over humanity's fate. His absence gave ride to the Charred Council's arrogance, to premature end wars, to the Destroyer's rampage, but also to the stone sigil of hollowed souls, the seed of humanity's rebirth, now guarded by Fury. Now, let me share my own theory for the Creator's possible role in Darksiders 4, a vision that may yet shape the saga's future. The Creator did not vanish by accident. Instead, he descended into the abyss, forging a recent mechanism for a universe on the brink of collapse. In the aftermath of the Council's fall and corruption's spread, Darksiders 4 will pick up where the first game ends. War, cast into chaos at the heart of the end war, fights on a ruined earth. Near the climax, the Creator returns, not as a savior, but as a transformed adversary, one who sees the freedom of the Horsemen as a mistake to be purged. He initiates a true end war, determined to erase the mightiest beings and start anew. In the final confrontation, the four Horsemen descend into the abyss, where the Creator reveals the true power of balance has always been hidden within them. In the end, the Horsemen sacrifice themselves to bring about a new beginning, ending the cycle of perpetual war and restoring the balance of all creation. But there are two sides to every coin. The Creator could remain as absent as he ever was, and leave the fate of existence up to his many creations. Wicked K, sometimes called Wicked Killington, is no mere reanimated corpse among the countless husks left behind after humanity's fall. He is an anomaly, a figure whose legend stretches back to the dawn of the Third Kingdom. Even at humanity's inception, Wicked Killington was already a master of combat. his reputation for madness and ferocity preceding him across the ages. In the world of Darksiders at the time of Genesis, Wicked K serves as the ultimate prize, a challenge awaiting those who unlock every trickster vault. Only by opening each vault does a hidden door reveal itself behind Vulgrim's shop, leading to an arena where the only adversary is Wicked Killington himself. What he lacks in numbers, he compensates for with staggering resilience, relentless offense, and a barrage of biting humor. His presence is not just a test of skill, but a gauntlet of wit and endurance. In defeat, he drops one of the most coveted creature cores in the game. Should the player interact with his iconic hat in the void, Wicked K will manifest and take a seat beside Samael, as if the boundaries between the living, the dead, and the damned mean nothing to him. Wicked K's legend transcends a single horseman's journey. On her quest to vanquish the 7 deadly sins, Fury entered the Crucible, where after besting countless waves, she was met by the master of the arena, none other than Wicked Killington. Upon his defeat, he performed a grand leap onto his own hat, and with a final flourish, asked if Fury could hear the fat lady singing, before vanishing into the ether. Vulgrim himself expressed shock at Wicked K's loss to a horseman, and when Fury pressed for his story, Vulgrim could only hint that his secrets were deeper and more sinister than most. Death too faced the enigma of Wicked K. In his journey to resurrect humanity, the Pale Rider conquered all 100 waves of the Crucible, only to be summoned to the top of the tower to face the Crucible's true master, Wicked K. Wicked K met Death with a duel both fierce and theatrical. Upon his defeat, he advised Death to remember him as a lover, not a fighter, then screamed tea time as he rocketed into the distance atop his hat. Or, the Red Rider encountered Killington lurking in hidden corners of the ruined Third Kingdom. Time and again, the undead gentleman challenged war to duels, each clash more brutal than the last, always punctuated by a friendly word and a generous bounty of souls for the victor. Through it all, Wicked K's demeanor never wavered. He was always the polite adversary, bowing his hat and abiding his own rules of fair play, refusing to indulge in low blows and treating his opponents as respected equals, even in the midst of mortal combat. Wicked K is the very image of a well-mannered, if deranged, English gentleman. He speaks with elegance, addresses friends and foes alike with courtesy, and even in battle, favors precise, elegant attacks over mindless savagery. He strolls rather than sprints, bows to his opponents when bested, and peppers every fight with bad jokes and clever jabs. Yet beneath the surface, Wicked Killington is something much more than a recurring boss or a source of Darksiders in-game memes. My own theory, drawn not from external speculation, but from the lore's own silent implications, is that Wicked K is a deliberate anomaly, a fissure in the order of creation itself. He is, perhaps, a fractured echo of the Creator, or at the very least, a vessel for one of the universe's oldest and most dangerous truths. Consider how the pieces fit. Wicked K is not just a random undead. He is a being who seems to slip through all boundaries, appearing across realms and timelines, taunting war in the ruins, facing death in the supernatural arena, dueling fury at the Crucible's zenith, and Genesis's primordial chaos. His appearances are never bound by linear time. He mocks the Horsemen with hints of knowledge about their destinies, quipping lines like "the last horse finally crosses the finish line," and claims a spotlight that stretches across infinite millennia and countless worlds. This is not the idle boast of a lost soul. This is a pattern, a deliberate thread sewn into the fabric of the universe. His age, too, is a riddle. The lore places him at around 750,000 years old, a survivor of humanity's earliest days, yet his own words suggest a presence even older. He may hail from the era before the Charred Council's dominion, before the forging of the Seven Seals, before humanity was meant to play any role in the cosmic balance. In a universe where angels and demons are bound by law and horsemen are forged in genocide, Wicked K is the one human remnant that endures, undying, knowing, and wholly outside the rules. His power is nothing to dismiss. He matches the horsemen in combat, wielding strength, speed, and resilience that makes a mockery of mortal limitations. He fights not with divine blades or hellish fire, but with theatrical brutality, a wrestling style that seems to parody the eternal war between heaven and hell, turning apocalypse into spectacle and cosmic conflict into a stage. In my deepest conviction, Wicked K is not just a corrupted human, but a splinter of the Creator's will, hidden within the Third Kingdom as an ancient failsafe or forgotten experiment. The Creator, whose absence defines the chaos of the present age, may have left behind this fragment as a sentinel, a watcher to observe, endure, and judge the horseman's worth. Wicked K's meta-knowledge, his infinite age, his presence across all the games, and his uncanny ability to remember the universe's script all point to a being who's not bound by time, death, or the balance itself. His top hat and whimsical flair are a mask, concealing a cosmic detachment and a far deeper purpose. Wicked K is not an agent of heaven or hell, but a judge, a gesture, and a witness, testing the Horsemen, enduring their blows, and returning again and again, as if to ask, are you worthy of restoring what was lost when the Creator vanished? Perhaps his origins lie in the fall of Eden, or in the purge of the Nephilim. His presence in Genesis suggests he predates humanity's own awakening. Maybe, in the earliest days, the Creator placed a piece of himself in proto-human flesh, a vessel meant to observe and test the guardians of the balance. While most of the wicked became mindless, rotting predators, Killington alone retained his mind, becoming an immortal sentinel, a living trial for the Horsemen and perhaps for creation itself. Each duel with the Horsemen is a crucible, not born of malice, but of necessity. Wicked K is slain, only to return. His death is never final, for he is not truly alive nor truly gone. He is the universe's hidden conscience, a fragment of divine will wrapped in undead flesh, a sly reminder that even gods can disappear, and that sometimes only a fool in a top hat can mock the chaos left behind. That is the truth I see, drawn not from rumor, but from the marrow of the Lord itself. Wicked Killington is creation's forgotten sentinel, a being who endures, observes, and judges, never for heaven or hell, but for the balance that holds all things together. At last, the veils of shadow lift, and the Crowfather's final echoes fade into the eternal hush. His secrets still guarded, his battles endured, a sentinel's vigil unbroken even in death. Wicked K's mocking grin lingers in the void, the Creator's silence a thunderous absence that gave birth to the balance we have unraveled. Our odyssey through the Darksiders' realms draws to a close, for now. These ashen plains, these frozen thrones, these cycles of judgment and apocalypse shall rest, awaiting the day Darksiders 4 awakens them once more. Yet the hunger for hidden truths and mythic journeys endures, for there are realms where death is not an end, but a brushstroke on the world's canvas, where a grieving hand paints fleeting lives, and a looming monolith counts down toward oblivion. Now, we turn our gaze to Clarobscure, Expedition 33, a painted purgatory of endless erasure, where the paintress rises each year to inscribe doom upon stone, and a new cast of heroes rise to defy a cycle as relentless as the Horsemen's own eternal war. Like the Kingdom of the Dead's unyielding judgment, Expedition 33's Gomage marks and claims the lost without mercy. Like corruption's blight, grief twists creation into tragedy. For all of you who have traversed these shadowed paths by my side, this coming saga offers the same relentless depth, the unraveling of loss, the defiance against fate, and truths buried in every fleeting petal. Every Wednesday, our journey continues anew. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite theories and mysteries in Darksiders are, and what you think Darksiders 4 will have in store for us. Ring that bell, and join me, Vigil, from Video Game Lore, as the canvas awaits its reckoning. And until then, I will see you all in the next one.
You will be hunted. The White City for certain. The Council, and there will be others. You would wage this war alone?
No. Not alone.